Welcome to a new session on the course School Organization, Administration and Management. In this topic, we will have a discussion on the meaning and definition of performance appraisal. The session also deals with the objectives and advantages of performance appraisal of teachers, methods of performance appraisal of teachers, and importance of performance appraisal. Teacher performance management is a continuous process for identifying, evaluating and developing the work performance of teachers so that the goals and objectives of the school are more effectively achieved, at the same time benefiting teachers in terms of recognition of performance, professional development and career guidance. We shall now discuss the meaning and definition of performance appraisal. Performance appraisal is the systematic evaluation of the performance of the employees or teachers to understand the abilities of a person for further growth and development. Performance appraisal is to assess the performance of an individual in relation to the objectives, activities, outputs and targets of a job over a given period of time. It is done in systematic ways, which are: the supervisors compare the pay of employees with the targets and plans and evaluate an employee's work behavior by comparing it with present standards. The supervisors will analyze the factors behind work performance of employees, uses the results to provide feedback to the employee to show where improvements are needed and why. The employer's role is to guide the employees for a better performance. According to Edwin B. Flippo, performance appraisal is a systematic, periodic and, so far as humanly possible, the impartial rating of an employee's excellence in matters pertaining to his or her present job and potentialities for a better job. All schools should have now put in place certain key components of performance management such as a staff appraisal system, induction and professional development of teachers. The first and foremost step in establishing the appraisal system is to define the objectives of the appraisal, which in turn decides the criteria and procedures of appraisal. The appraisal system applicable to one school may not be so for another. Before establishing the teacher appraisal system, schools should understand their culture, their educational goals and the needs of the various parties, the school, teacher and students, and then decide on the methods and criteria for appraisal. High quality teaching is essential to improve student outcomes and reducing gaps in student achievement. The teacher performance appraisal system provides teachers with meaningful appraisals that encourage professional learning and growth. The process is designed to foster teacher development and identify opportunities for additional support where required. It helps teachers achieve their full potential with high levels of student performance. These are contained in new regulations that cover teacher appraisal and a model policy that covers both appraisal and capability. Together they form one of a number of changes that are designed to improve the quality of teaching. The new regulations on teacher appraisal are mandatory for maintaining schools and local authorities. They give schools and local authorities more freedom to design appraisal policies that suit their own individual circumstances. Rationale for this change shall be discussed now. Firstly, the evidence from around the world shows us that the most important factor in determining the effectiveness of a school system is the quality of its teachers. Secondly, good teachers make a profound difference. Third, the majority of teachers in our schools are highly competent professionals who are committed to providing good education for our children. Where teachers do not meet the standards that are expected of the profession, it is important that head teachers have the freedom and authority to tackle underperformance. Fourth, no one is helped when poor performance remains unaddressed. Underperforming teachers place additional pressures on their colleagues and let down the children in their care. We shall now see the objectives of performance appraisal in schools. Performance appraisal can be done with certain objectives in mind. They are: 1. To set agreed performance targets and monitor the progress by measuring actual performance against the target. 2. To assist school management in assessing teachers' performance, ensuring that teachers commit to their duties and that they develop their teaching effectiveness in order to provide a quality education. 3. To help identify and resolve cases of underperformance. 4. To provide school management with proper records which serve as important references in the selection for promotion and in helping underachieving teachers. 5. To recognize the achievements of teachers, appraise effective teaching practice and encourage the development of quality teaching. 6. To provide constructive feedback to individual teachers. 7. To assist teachers in identifying their potential and ways for improvement so as to raise their professional standard and improve their team spirit, which support the overall development of the school. 8. To provide guidance, counseling and training to teachers having difficulties in their performance. 9. To provide relevant information on human resource development for schools to plan appropriate teacher development activities. 10. To provide feedback to employees about their performance and status. 11. To assess the potentials present in a teacher for further growth and development. 12. To identify strength and weakness of a teacher to place right men on right job. 13. To maintain records in order to determine compensation packages, wage structure, salary increment, etc. 14. To determine levels of competence. 15. To increase teacher efficiency, effectiveness and good performance. And lastly, to ensure that teachers perform their duties with integrity and maintain a positive, vigilant attitude toward all learning activities. There are some advantages of performance appraisal. Let us see some of those. It is said that performance appraisal is an investment for the company or institution or any organization which can be justified by certain advantages, like the first one being accountability. Performance appraisal ensures that teachers or employees commit to their duties and that they develop their teaching effectiveness in order to provide quality education. Second, feedback. It provides constructive feedback to individual teachers or employees. Third, promotion and compensation. Performance appraisal helps the head to consider teachers for further promotion and compensation. Efficient teachers can be promoted to higher posts and proper compensation can be provided. Fourth, professional development. The systematic procedure of performance appraisal helps the supervisors to frame training policies and programs. It helps to analyze strengths and weaknesses of teachers, leading to their professional enrichment. Fifth, selection validation. Performance appraisal helps the supervisors to understand the validity and performance of the selection procedure. The supervisors come to know the validity and thereby the strengths and weaknesses of selection procedure. Future changes in selection methods can be made in this regard. Sixth, communication. For an organization, effective communication between employees and employers is very important. Through performance appraisal, communication can be sought in several ways, like Through performance appraisal, the head can understand and accept skills of subordinates. The subordinates can also understand and create a trust and confidence in superiors. It also helps in maintaining cordial and congenial labor management relationship. It develops the spirit of work and boosts the morale of employees and teachers. All the above factors ensure effective communication. Seventh is motivation. Performance appraisal serves as a motivation tool. Through evaluating performance of teachers, their efficiency can be determined if the targets are achieved. This very well motivates a teacher for better job and helps him to improve his performance in the future. And last is quality enhancement. It helps to enhance teacher efficiency, effectiveness and performance. Now let us see what we mean by performance appraisal of teachers. The appraisal of teachers should focus on the performance and not on the personality. The appraisal should focus on certain items: teaching and teaching related duties, non-teaching duties and professional and personal competence. Each teacher should have a job description outlining his or her responsibilities and scope of work. This can serve as a reference in deciding the areas of appraisal. The areas of appraisal should be in line with the school goals, major concerns of the current year and program plans under various subjects. Some of the major components of teacher performance appraisal are: first one, educational leadership. The extent to which the teacher is making an impact on teaching and learning beyond his or her own teaching, as evidenced by leadership in teaching innovations, scholarship of teaching and learning and other forms of contributions leading to system-wide impact. Second is contribution to development and management. The extent to which the teacher is contributing to the development and operations of subjects and programs, as evidenced by involvement and contribution in planning and implementing program curricula and subject syllabi and their relevant discussions, projects and processes. Third is subject competency. Content knowledge, subject competency refers to teachers' accurate and up-to-date information and mastery of the subject that teachers teach and that students are expected to learn in a given subject or content area such as English language, mathematics, science or social studies. Content knowledge refers to the facts, concepts, theories and principles that are taught and learned. Fourth is knowledge of delivery methods. Teaching is an art for expert teachers. Expert teachers own unique qualities including a passion for their subject and an ability to transfer it to the learners, sound knowledge and excellent communication and interpersonal skills. Also, a good teacher does more than teaching by contributing to the general academic, emotional and cultural development of learners. Knowledge of delivery methods refers to teachers' ability to coordinate learning content with instructional objectives, to use effective examples and illustrations and to present learning content in a logical sequential order. Good teachers are expected to have an ability to transfer the content to learners in an effective and appropriate way. Communicating ideas and concepts in a simple, clear and sequential manner using examples whenever possible is an important criteria for effective teaching. Experts agree that for classroom instruction to become effective and professional, it should be palatable to the learners, be practical and linked to everyday life, generate an interest in the subject and also lead to serious discussions. Also, effective teaching does not take place without student interest, and for this teachers adopt techniques such as the usage of simple analogies, interesting anecdotes and also small doses of humor. Even in the highly advanced learning environments of the present day world, where technology tools offer considerable teaching support, basic teaching skills matters a lot. Communicating ideas and concepts in a simple, clear and sequential manner using examples wherever possible is an important criteria for effective teaching. So, a teacher should possess pedagogic content knowledge or PCK. It is a special combination of content and pedagogy that is uniquely constructed by teachers and thus is a special form of an educator's professional knowing and understanding. Pedagogical content knowledge is also known as craft knowledge. It comprises integrated knowledge representing teachers' accumulated wisdom with respect to their teaching practice, pedagogy, students, subject matter and the curriculum. Pedagogical content knowledge must be addressed within the context of a diverse pedagogy. It involves, first one, demonstrating ability to conduct lessons using a variety of methods. 2. Organizing materials, supplies and equipments prior to the lesson. 3. Integrating materials and resources smoothly into a lesson. 4. Identifying available supplemental resources. Development of PCK. Pedagogical content knowledge is deeply rooted in a teacher's everyday work. It encompasses both theory learned during teaching preparation as well as experiences gained from ongoing schooling activities. The development of pedagogical content knowledge is influenced by factors related to the teacher's personal background and by the context in which he or she works. Pedagogical content knowledge is deeply rooted in the experiences and assets of students, their families and communities. Impact of PCK. When teaching subject matter, teachers' actions will be determined to a large extent by the depth of their pedagogical content knowledge, making this as an essential component of their ongoing learning. Pedagogical content knowledge research links knowledge on teaching with knowledge about learning, a powerful knowledge base on which to build teaching expertise. Pedagogical content knowledge in core content areas. PCK illustrates how the subject matter of a particular discipline is transformed for communication with learners. It includes what makes specific topics difficult to learn, the conditions students bring to the learning of these concepts and teaching strategies tailored to this specific teaching situation. To teach all students according to today's standards, teachers indeed need to understand the subject matter deeply and flexibly so that they can help students map their own ideas, relate one to another and redirect their thinking to create powerful learning. Teachers also need to see how ideas connect across fields and to everyday life. These are the building blocks of PCK. 1. Understanding the learning process. In order to engage, motivate and teach all learners at optimum levels, teachers must understand the learning process. 2. Understanding students' background and needs. To effectively choose teaching methods and help students learn, teacher must first know something about whom they are teaching. Third is curriculum alignment. Curriculum alignment is defined as the degree to which expectations and assessments are in agreement and serve in conjunction with one another to guide the system towards students' learning what they are expected to know and do. Curriculum alignment is otherwise known as curriculum mapping. Fourth is the ability to use student achievement data in planning instruction. The goal is to formulate specific and coherent evidence-based recommendations for use by educators and educational administrators to create the organizational conditions necessary to make decisions using student achievement data in classrooms, schools and districts. Fifth is classroom management. If students are engaged, they are managed. This is the absolute truth. But we still need rules, routines and trust and student ownership to make a classroom run smoothly and effectively. Sixth is professional growth, continuous improvement. This indicates teachers' frequent and continuous involvement in professional enrichment program. Seventh is the ability to use technology as a tool in the classroom. Teachers should have basic knowledge in technology to use it in the classroom for effective teaching and learning. Eighth is relationship management. This means the ability to maintain a cordial and constructive relationship with different stakeholders of the institution like colleagues, students and parents. We shall now see some of the methods for performance appraisal of teachers. First one being the ranking method. In ranking method, employees are ranked according to their performance levels. It is easier to rank the best and the worst employee. When a large number of employees are working, ranking of individuals become a difficult issue. There is no systematic procedure for ranking individuals in the organization. The ranking system does not eliminate the possibility of snap judgments. Second is rating scale. Rating scales consist of several numerical scales representing job related performance criterion such as dependability, initiative, output, attendance, attitude, etc. Each scale range from excellent to poor. The total numerical scores are computed and final conclusions are derived. Advantages include adaptability, easy to use, low cost and every type of job can be evaluated, large number of employees covered and no formal training required. The third method is the checklist method. Under this method, a checklist of statements of traits of employee in the form of yes or no based questions is prepared. Here the rater only does the reporting or checking and the HR department does the actual evaluation. Advantages of this method include economy, ease of administration, limited training required and standardization. Disadvantages are rater biases, use of improper ways by HR, does not allow rater to give relative ratings, etc. The fourth is the critical incidence method. This approach is focused on certain critical behaviors of employee that makes all the difference in the performance. Supervisors, as and when they occur, record such incidents. Some advantages of critical incidence method are: evaluations are based on actual job behaviors, ratings are supported by descriptions, feedback is easy, reduces biases, chances of subordinate improvement are high. Some disadvantages are: negative incidents can be prioritized, forgetting incidents, overly close supervision, feedback may be too much and may appear to be punishment. And the fourth is the essay method. In this method, the rater writes down the employee description in detail within a number of broad categories like overall impression of performance, promote ability of employee, existing capabilities and qualifications of performing jobs, strengths and weaknesses and training needs of the employee. Advantages of this method are: it is extremely useful in filing information gaps about the employees that often occur in a better structured checklist. Disadvantages of essay method: it is highly dependent upon the writing skills of rater and most of them are not good writers. Lastly, we shall discuss the importance of performance appraisal. It provides a record of performance over a period of time. It can be motivational with the support of a good reward and compensation. It provides an opportunity for the head to meet and discuss performance of the staff. It provides an employee to discuss issues and clarify expectations. It provides the employee with the feedback about their performance. It establishes line of communication. It forms a basis for personnel's salary increases, promotions, disciplinary actions, bounces, etc. It validates selection techniques and human resource policies. It helps to judge the gap between actual and desired performance and to reduce grievances of employees. Now, let us summarize what we have just discussed. In short, we can say that performance appraisal is the systematic evaluation of the performance of employees and to understand the abilities of a person for further growth and development. Performance appraisal, also referred to as performance review, performance evaluation or employee appraisal, is a method by which the job performance of members of an institution are evaluated and documented. Performance appraisals are part of career development and consist of regular reviews of employee performance within organizations. In this session, we had a discussion on the meaning and definition of performance appraisal. The session also dealt with objectives and advantages of performance appraisal of teachers, pedagogic content knowledge, methods of performance appraisal of teachers and importance of performance appraisal. Thank you for watching this session on performance appraisal. See you again with a new topic. Goodbye.